Alright, so we're gonna jump right into it. So we're gonna do a replay analysis of xkumiho. He is Diamond 5 right now. So he's versing a Karma, he's going D-Shield first, that's fine, because Karma is generally a pretty pokey lane. And what does she have? She has... Can't see Keystone here? Yeah, I can't tell Keystone right now. But yeah, standing here is good, because then you can see if they come through here, you have a lot of space to run, and you can see, you can guard the entrance at the same time, so that's good.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Bot lane should be warding if they really didn't want to get invaded. Yep. Good spot to sit on. But dead. Okay, wait. I think that might be his fault. I think the moment Lee Sin queued, maybe back up. That was pretty unfortunate since you had to burn flash early. Yeah, I was like, good spot, good spot. But the thing is, you were the only one guarding the jungle. So, like, if you were only guarding this area, that's fine. But bot lane wasn't really guarding, so they're just kind of sitting there. Alright, so it's Karma matchup. So you're Q to get all this farm. Nice job. Missed one, but it's fine. So in this matchup, you can kind of poke out Q. Ooh, Jax is going to gank early. Ooh. Nice. Q. Maybe flash? Oh, no, no flash, no flash. Damn, that's unlucky. If you had flash there with Ignite, it would have worked. So now that Karma has TP, just be aware that even if you chunk her down, just make sure you don't get chunked down yourself because she has TP advantage. Generally, you would just want to shove this one out if your minions are winning, because then it might be at an awkward spot. But you can try to look for a QE here. QE here. E? Oh, you just saw it coming. That would have done a lot of good damage. I think you would have been fine because you had Dawn Shield and everything. Let's see. Good job. He's gonna line Q. Damn, that sucks. Sucks that you weren't level 3. And you're dead again. Hold on. Let's see what you could have done here. So Jax is dying. Also probably would have shimpoed to try to like block the Lee Sin Q, which is maybe what you were trying to do as well. But yeah, that was almost a lost cause there. So now you're super behind in lane. At least the lane's pushing towards you, so that's good. Because if the lane's pushing towards Karma, the lane is over, literally. So you buy an extra potion, a ward. Make sure to put down your ward before you actually enter the lane, when possible. So here it's okay because like the wave's already pushing up. You want to get as much EXP as possible. So you do that. Okay, next you probably want to shove in this lane just super hard because the minion wave isn't going to meet in mid and you're going to be able to deny Karma some CS. So here I would have just shoved in. I think you had enough time to do it. But now because you didn't shove it in, now it's going to shove in towards her. If you're going to see now, the only time you don't want to shove in too hard is when you think you can take advantage of Karma or your enemy laner. But Karma's like a hard matchup to like jump on because she can kite you pretty easily and she can move around pretty easily. So what does she have? She has Amp Tome and a Donon's Ring. So you're level 4. Okay, now Karma might be able to freeze it. Yeah, you see what happened? Because you didn't shove in that lane, that means Karma was able to get a decent freeze on here. So you still have your control ward, which you should have placed. You should just shove this in. Just hard shove. It's okay if she pokes you out. Here, she won't be able to poke you out that easily. Mason's top side. Okay, Lane should be... Nah, she's gonna try to freeze it again. You see what happened when you didn't shove it in? Oh, but she doesn't freeze. Okay. Alright, so here you actually have a decent amount of strength to like jump on her when you hit level 5. So you're gonna hit level 5 real soon. You could try to eat W. Jax is up there. You probably should have placed your control word. Oof. Karma's over there. Okay. Here you could have probably shoved. You could have probably froze it a little bit. Let me see. So here, if you just pressed S here, like right here, just press S, the minions would have hit you just a little bit and you probably would have been able to freeze it onto your side. Instead you decide to push it, so now the wave's going to meet back in the middle. If you froze it there, then Karma would be forced to walk up and it'd make it easier for him to gank, and on top of that maybe jump on Karma as well. But the thing is, like, you can't jump on Karma right now because she has minion advantage. You could... Oh. One possible combo you could have done there, which is something that I've been doing a little bit. So, let me show you. So, you queued here, right? She jukes away. First of all, I think you should have seen that she was overextended into the minion wave and that you could have probably eat onto her. That was probably pretty guaranteed if you knew where Q was going to be placed. But one thing is, if she's still standing around that dagger, you could eat W and you could E and W and run to this dagger. And she'll try to like W to retaliate or something, but if she doesn't, that's free poke for you. And then you could eat onto your W as well. And you could like eat W, run towards this dagger, pick it up, and then E back onto the W dagger. But if you tell, like, Karma's pretty squishy. What does she have? Oh, but you don't have that much items right now. How much you got? 955? Okay. Yeah, but just keep it in mind. Because she has a lot of minions, it's hard for you to jump on her. Could have probably maybe kept juking that. You could have done the double fade. Okay, once you hit 6, try to catch her by surprise if she still stays up. You probably didn't want to use your Q there. See? Okay. Okay, look. Okay, so yeah, you have a lot of minions here. But Karma's putting herself in a pretty bad spot. So you should be autoing these to try to get as much of this as possible and save all your abilities so that when she's still up there and she hits and you hit 6, you should be able to eat W ulti onto her. So like you queuing there was actually a bad idea because first of all, she had no pressure to contest that CS because she queued here already and missed. And you jumped in and you used your W, so now you don't have any way to jump on her again and get a reset. So a lot of mistakes that people do is they try to like fight you under your tower, and that's like one of the most vulnerable positions the enemy could put themselves in. So if you know that Karma is gonna walk up and try to like pressure you or pressure the tower or something, you should have played it slow, wait for you to hit 6 because I don't think she would have seen it coming. You want to like sit back and try to like make her seem safe, and then the moment you hit 6 you try to jump in. But you ended up getting most of the CS. You could even like use the back wave to try to like set up a Q on her. That also would have worked. Okay, at this point, honestly, you should be pressuring with your E. The moment you throw out your Q, just know that a lot of the pressure on her is gone because Q is a lot of your damage and you're maxing it first. So here you could eat. I don't know if you could have eat onto her there. I think you could have. If you saw it coming, if you anticipated her to poke you under the tower, yeah, you definitely could have. Look right here. So you see your thing is about to get hit, and she's gonna think that you're gonna walk up for a CS, or she's just gonna try to poke you, I guess. But the way she was positioned in the lane meant it so that you could have potentially just jumped onto her. Even if you got hit by that Q, you could have potentially won that fight if you just eat W ulti. But you eat onto the minion. Just know that when someone walks up to you like that far, like you can jump in on them. They're overextended if that happens. Okay, so it's just like you're gonna farm. You do have a lot of money, but she's keeping you in lane. Okay. So she's actually running kind of So you should be looking to try to get aggressive. Remember, when you use all your abilities to farm like that, you can't go in. So try to use your skills to a minimum and wait for them to overextend, so that when they do misstep just a little bit, you have all your skills to retaliate. But it seems like you're just farming, so I'm just gonna take it that you're just gonna farm out this lane. So yeah, you should probably back here. Let's see, I would get like a revolver into boots. Revolver, boots, longsword maybe. Let's see what you get. So you get sword shoes. Interesting, buy. The sword shoes might help here just to help you roam, but you would have got there anyway. I think revolver gives you overall more damage, especially level 6. Sword shoes is not a bad buy either though. So you could probably kill him. Didn't need to ulti there. Okay, you E. E. You got the Draven? Damn. EW? And then Q, and then E, and then Q, and then E. Nice. You could have actually played that fight a lot better. Alright, let's go back. I think you had an opportunity to like kill them all, like a lot quicker, a lot sooner. Okay, let's play this fight a little bit. Okay, let's slow it down too. Okay, so Lee Sin jumps in on the Xayah. You probably didn't need the flash. It was pretty short distance. You probably could have like E'd onto the Xayah. Just EWQ, and then you didn't need to ulti there. He was guaranteed dead already. So EWQ, the Q would have landed around Karma, and then you E again, and then you have all your abilities up. So then you can either throw your Q or EW afterwards. So then there's that. Let's see. But you decided not to go to Karma, who is Zoom. You had to eat. I think you had to eat W here, because the reason why you want to eat W here is so that you can set up on the other two afterwards. He's already diving into tower, so if you eat W and aimed your combo this way, you probably would have been able to follow up on them. But yeah, you threw your Q and it landed behind him, which is awkward when Renekton wants to obviously run away from the tower. So your Q dagger placement was not good. So you eat W, and then here you should look to, at this point you know Renekton's gonna die, so you want to use your E before you get the reset, or use your E to maybe kill the Renekton. So here, like, you shouldn't have been so scared. Veigar is super low, so if you E'd here already, then you would have another E up right now. So like you could have potentially like jumped twice, like E, because you know that Renekton was gonna die to ignite, and it was slowly ticking. So here, like, you should have EW'd onto a minion and Q'd so that it would hit Veigar, and then after that EW Q onto the rest of them, and they all probably would have died. You should have probably E'd onto Draven right here. Throwing Q was a little awkward because, you know, there's a lot of turns here. So it's not like a direct path. If you threw your Q to where it landed here, that would have been fine. I feel like you missed some opportunities to auto as well, so make sure to keep that in mind. You should always be autoing after Shimpos. Okay, so you probably just want to farm a Gunblade at this point. Okay, now I get Revolver into Cutlass. Get Revolver first, and then nice, good job. That's fine too. Refill is actually really good if you want to just get refill instead. Buying the 2 pots, I mean, I guess eventually like it wouldn't be bad because you get Gunblade and you can heal off minions anyway, but refill is always good. So make sure the moment you shove out these 2 waves that you place your control. So you decide to place your control here. Just to note that if you place it like more here, you would see more of this area, so it would keep you more safe. Here, it's if people decide to run through here, then you would see them sooner. But honestly, like at the tip of the bush is better because you get better vision. Okay, so shove this one out and just start roaming. Let's see top. Yeah, Singed might be able to stall out. Oh no. Okay, so at this point, they might either look to dive. Okay, if they look to dive, then... Okay, just tell them you're coming. Oh, you should have planted there. Just start pinging that you're going there. Start pinging that you're going there. Okay, let's see how you play this out. EWQ. Q. QE. EWQ. E. Man, that Karma heal is AIDS. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Slow down that fight. Okay, so let's see here. Lee Sin's in a pretty bad spot. So it's good that you got the EW. EWQ. I personally wouldn't have ulted here. Because they're all already moving that way. So I would have EWQ'd and try to ulti after the Shimpo. So EWQ. So you hit the Lee Sin with Q and that's why I flew so far. He died anyway. Here you would have had ulti. QE. And then here, what you should have done is you should have E'd behind her. So then... So here, you E'd onto the right of her. If you E'd behind her and threw the Q here to where you would block her path, that would have been the most ideal. But if you saw here, because you threw the Q this way, because you should put on the right, the Q ended up going on the left, and there's no reason for her to run this way at all. She could just run up and juke your Q dagger. So you wanted to Shimpo behind her, and you have to preemptively understand where you want to aim your Q. So you had to E like behind her and try to throw the Q to where she's trying to run. So that's what you should have done there. But that Karma heal was pretty troll. Maybe you could have potentially like run up to one of these daggers after she threw the W so that you can get your Shimpo reset afterwards. That also could have been an option. Okay, so you're pretty strong now. I don't think you have Gunblade just yet. Okay, yeah, you can shove out this next one. Shove it out real quick and just back. Okay. Alright, do you have Gunblade? No, you don't. Not yet. You're very close, though. Okay, no. Okay, yeah, you do have Gunblade. Oh, you wait. Did you sell Doran's shield? Honestly, like, try your best not to do that. Like, it's okay if you don't have it. I know getting Gunblade is really good, but selling an item it's like super inefficient. So there, I would have actually left it. But Gunblade might come in handy, so we'll see. Okay, so at this point, you want to focus on getting towers because you're pretty strong. You're 6'2", so you want to focus on objectives. So Karma just back, so you want to just shove this lane out super hard and see what lanes you can rotate to. So here, Singed want to help, maybe wants to help you. No, not at all. So yeah, you can go down here since you don't really know where they are. So you got mid, you got bot, tower, and you got dragon. You should play around this side of the map as of now, because Singed will be doing his own thing. If Karma decides to walk up too close, then you can maybe try to jump on her, EW Gunblade ulti. Notice that there's no... Okay, your team has to go, like... Your team has to go to drag. Like, you should be... Okay. Alright, get ready to go bot. Okay, never mind. You're good, you're good. Oh, so Karma got too close and you decided to kill her. That's exactly Perfect. So you got hit by the Q. E in. Karma gets too close. Remember that you didn't have to throw out your Q. You could eat W, Gunblade, and then when she walks out of your ulti, that's when you throw your Q. That's fine too. That's a little more guaranteed, especially in matchups like Karma. Doesn't look like anything's happening, so you probably should have just went mid. Or at this point, you should help. Okay, so let's look at the fight here. So everyone's pretty healthy. Everyone's pretty there. So it looks like you do want to be there for your team, and that's fine. So you decide to walk down. There's gonna be a TP. Yeah, they're definitely running. So if anything, you should have maybe shoved out this wave first before you went bot. All right, let's see what happens next. So yeah, nothing's gonna happen. So yeah, you did waste a bit of time there. If you know that they're gonna back up, you should just use your best judgment to walk back. Now Karma might actually like get this farm. Are they gonna retaliate? Okay. Okay, yeah, never mind. Alright, you can find your way to roam bot here. Oh yeah, there's the scuttle crab, so yeah. How much money do you have? You have 11s. I think you're gonna get Haunting Guys here. Haunting Guys would be a good buy in my opinion. But if Karma walks up close again, you can do the same combo. If you see, she only has tier 2 boots. Tier 1 boots, and you have tier 2. So take advantage of that. Take advantage of that hard. You should be walking up if you don't think that jungler is around. I don't think the jungler was around, honestly. Besides, Lee Sin didn't have kick either, so what would he do? You probably should have played more up there. Especially before she was able to Q the backline. So, at this point, your kind of pressure on Karma is if you get into range of your E, she's dead. Or you will chunk her to death. So, that's the kind of pressure you want to put onto her. I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure if you have ulti up exactly, but if you don't, then yeah, you probably can't go in. But you can get some free poke, honestly, like eat WQ. You'd probably win out the trade super hard and be able to sustain it. Okay. So Lee Sin's top side. So yeah, you should shove out this wave hard. Oh, never mind. What's gonna happen here? Nothing's gonna happen, it seems like. Unless you guys decide to dive. In with the baits. WQ. That's fine too. Okay. Let me tell you one thing about that combo. Okay, so let's look at this situation here. So if you throw out your Q, you want to be able to aim it. You want it for the sole purpose of aiming it if you throw out your Q first. So then like when you throw out your Q, you want it to land where you think you can use it. So here it looks like you just used it for damage. If you eat WQ'd, it would have been a lot better in my opinion. But instead you threw your Q and ended up not using it. So you threw the Q and this is where you should have jumped. That technically speaking, that's where you should have jumped. But EWQ would have covered this entire area. So Lee Sin was actually able to flash out. You get your W reset and then you EQ. Yeah. I mean overall you got both the kills, but it could have been played a little better. If you saw there that Q dagger was a little awkward. Okay. Wow, Karma, nah, good. Alright, so they're gonna get top lane. Okay, so you push out this wave. And now you should be playing mid bot centric. So if Karma gets close, you can probably E-Gunblade onto a minion. And just chunk her super hard. Like the good thing about that is she can't chain you. So then like, let me show you exactly what I mean. So if you eat W to a minion and Gunblade and Q, you can use your W to walk out of her chain range because you're not gonna be right on top of her when you E. You're gonna be like a little bit away, so you can use your W to kind of get out of range and jump in with the Q afterwards. Another thing you could do is if you throw out your Q, if you eat W, if you eat Gunblade and W and Q, and she starts juking your Q dagger, you could immediately ulti, because she's gonna take a lot of damage that way. Because she's trying to juke that dagger, she's moving around you instead of away from you, and that's when you can just throw ulti and try to bait people into walking towards you. That's another thing you could do. If you know, this Karma's super squishy, so you actually have a lot of damage over her, but you have a lot of gold, so you want to just back here, which you do. Oh, maybe not. Let's see. EWQ, E, EWQ. Yeah. See, against Karma, like, you have to throw it. Like, I understand that you just want to nuke them really fast, but you have to be patient with your combo so you can follow up better. So EW, like here, you could have EW'd and just try to like walk up to her, auto attack her a little bit to, you know, slow her down with your red. And then the moment she starts walking this way, that's when you throw your Q. So like you want to EW, and then especially against the Karma, you don't want to ulti too fast, because then she could just shield and run out. Yeah, it's fine. No, you get used to it the more you play, but just be more patient with the combo. Honestly, you just gotta practice. Like, try having a game where you just eat W and then Q slowly. Like, just every time you go in, just try that combo, and you'll understand why it's so effective. So here, it's actually okay. So you decided against Zanya's. Let's see how good that is. So Zanya's against Veigar Cage would not be good. It would be okay against Karma Snare. Lee Sin Kick, it wouldn't really work. Yeah, I don't think Zanya's was a good buy here. I think you should have just went straight damage, because if you just look out for the Veigar Cage and the Lee Sin Kick, you're fine. You're completely fine. But let's see how much of a use Zanya's is this game. Let's see how exactly it happens. Because honestly, I don't think Zanya's is gonna make Zanya's isn't gonna do good for you in here, in my opinion. Okay, so nothing happens here. That's good. Kill the Herald. Sinja's gonna go bot, so just it looks like mid's definitely gonna try to go top. So if you see here, I don't know where everyone is, but I'm assuming they left. Okay, Renekton's still here. Karma backed. Lee Sin's over there. So, like, if you look at them, they don't have any CC for you. So, if you jumped onto a minion and try to, like, poke them down or engage something, then you could have potentially killed them. One problem is that Renekton was there. So, if you want to, like, you have 3 mid, right? And you guys want to look to focus this tower, you can actually push someone out of lane by, like, EW, Q, ulti, and then Eing in and probably just E out. Not really committing completely. But if you see here, like, Draven's actually a little tanky, and Veigar has Merc Tread, so it's actually a little hard for you to do that. That's why I would want to go like Haunting Guy second, because they're starting to build MR already, and I don't know if, and you can try to bait something with Zanya's even if you do try to go in and poke, because Gunblade's on a short cooldown, so you could have potentially done something there. There it is. Okay, wait. Maybe I spoke too soon. But you found the opportunity and you took it, so you threw your Q. Nice. And W and then ignite, and then you should WQ. Okay. There, I don't think Zanya's was a good idea, because Renekton already burned all this shit. So like EW, and then here Renekton already burned his stun and his Q. So Zanya's wasn't completely necessary, and you had to burn flash to get back onto Draven, but Draven burned flash. Draven burns ulti. And you had Soraka there, so you were pretty safe. Is gonna go in? Okay, that's a kind of a good reaction to his Q, but personally, I would have just Q'd him. So here I would have just Q'd first instead of W'd, because he's trying to go for Xayah, not you. So if anything, if he was going to go out and kick someone, he would have kicked Xayah. And you would have Q'd and potentially done more damage to Lee Sin. Okay. So Dragon's coming up. You guys should try to fight there. Jax is pressuring top. So Singe, if anything, Shin should be like trying to shove bottom and trying to get that tower and playing around Dragon. Jax brought one top, so there's only 4 people here. So if anything, if you can't shove this down, you gotta rotate down with Singe and just play around bot side right now. Okay, seems like you guys can. Okay, got decent amount of damage on the tower. Good job. Yeah, Karma got too close, so you gunbladed. That's fine. Okay. Oh, you should have helped your Xayah. I think you played a little too scared there. I don't know if your Zanya's was up exactly, but it says it's up. So, first of all, okay, he burned a lot of shit. So here, you should have just jumped onto the Lee Sin. Draven's not even that fed, and you have a bit of armor, and you're 11 too. So, probably should have like gone in to help, especially after you got rooted. That was potentially a free kill there. Let's see what you decide to do. Because if you know like you're not gonna get focused, you should help. Because then he can't kill both of you. If he throws all his abilities on one person, he's not gonna have the abilities to kill both of you. Spot lane taken. Did Singe die? Holy shit, Singe died. Okay, here potentially like you could have like taken Wraith or something. When you know the minions aren't gonna meet for a while, you should look to try to get something, anything. So like look in your jungle, look at how much wards you have and see what you can do. How much money do you have? Okay, so here I would get Void Staff. Void Staff next would be best item. Okay, but you decide to stay. It's just Draven and Karma, which you can't fight on your own. You should see where your team is right now. So there's bot, 2 bot, potentially Baron's a risk. Yeah, since they're all hovering around, but they have Scuttle there, so they're gonna know 100% that you guys are doing it. Are they gonna do it? No, they're not gonna do it. Okay, maybe you could use Singe as bait. Nope. Okay, so bot lane is definitely a tower you can take, but because mid is so low, you should keep up the pressure here and wait for her. Ooh, Gunblade? Did you Gunblade there? There you go. So yeah, definitely Gunblade earlier into your combo so that you can hit your combos easier. It helps you hit your combo and helps you like, you know, get to that there's that mastery. I think it's called Merciless. If they're under 40% health, then your damage does more. Oh, you should be taking that. You should be taking that. You guys definitely could have taken that. I don't know what you guys were afraid of. Like if you just ping Soraka, like nothing's gonna stop you. You could auto, E auto, W auto, E auto, and it would probably be dead. And with Soraka like protecting you, you would have been 100% fine. You just missed free tower gold. Kamra got there in time, but you're probably gonna go back and get it. And then you're gonna get Voice Staff first. That's good. So you see people collapsing on Lee Sin. You should probably start walking down there, which you do. Okay, Singe stalling out the fight for you, that's good. Nothing's really gonna happen here. W maybe? Oh, nope. W was so you can set up if Lee Sin were to Q again. Okay, so I don't think they're gonna keep pushing. So it looks like you just want this wave. Remember, you can take 2 waves here. Because there's another wave walking up. You can take it safely, probably. Yeah, you potentially could have gotten that wave as well. It's fine. So now you guys, so basically, if you shoved out this next wave, it would push up to maybe around here, and you'd have more room to take this mid tower. Because you could just assume everyone back from that skirmish. Carlos. Holy shit, then. Jax is just splitting so hard. Holy shit. Jax should be helping you guys. Okay, so you don't want to really do anything too crazy. You just want to Q the wave or Q whatever you can. Like right there. That's good. Jax going in hot. So Q again. Good shit. Oh, got him into the stun. Nice. Okay, so I think that fight could have definitely be played a little better. Okay, so let's see. So you set up your Q. Jax goes in, right? So I don't think he used Gunblade, that's one thing. If anything, if he Gunbladed, you maybe would have killed Draven. You Q'd, you eat W'd, and you ulted. Which is actually completely fine. It's hard to tell whether you need to like ulti or not and see if you can actually one-shot someone, so I think I would have done the same thing, but I think most ideally, if you eat W and then Q'd and then Q'd onto the dagger afterwards, potentially it would have been better, or you jump onto the dagger and then you eat W ulti and then you Zhonya's, because you need a better ulti if you're gonna Zhonya's it. So like, they stopped aiming for you and you're full health. So here, I actually really think that Zhonya's isn't really useful. You're better off with more damage at that point, because then you would have killed Raven and been able to jump out right afterwards. Sin goes hot. And then yeah, Sin's still going. Holy fuck. But yeah, you guys definitely need to get that mid tower. So you got voice staff, that's good.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Okay, eat W Gunblade, Q, E again. Now you guys can either take drag or push towers. Probably drag. I don't know what kind of drag is up right now, but yeah, drag should be free. Oh, it's Inferno. Holy shit, eat WQ. Got him. Yeah, Veigar shouldn't do that much damage. Next item, you could potentially get Banshee's Veil so you don't get engaged on. If you don't get engaged on, you're pretty solid. You can get Banshee's Veil. I think Death Cap might be a little risky, but you don't want support Veigar doing too much damage to you, so Banshees would be a good buy. You want to shove out this wave too. How much money you have? You have a lot of money. Since you're looking to go top, there's really nothing else to farm, so yeah, you come back here. You can even put down a ward before you back. So looks like you get Death Cap here, which is completely fine too. That just means that you're looking to not get too close and put yourself in a position where you don't get burstified Veigar, which is okay. Okay, so Jax dies on his own. Let's see what you have to do next. Seems like you have to wait for your team to make an opportunity, but it looks like they want to just shove it mid because Jax died. So you guys probably have to defend this. Jax shouldn't probably go on his own. Okay. So they might actually potentially get this tower. Q. Bad. Singe is still going. Alright, good job. Ooh, bad combo. Okay. Let's go back. So Q, you eat. That's good. Now you're gonna have your Q back up. So you see, since you get flunked, so yeah, Renekton is what you want to reset off of. So you Q Renekton, you should have, oh, you did Gunblade, okay. So Lee Sin Q's in, you should eat WQ here. Well, a lot of mistakes that people make on Cat is that when they get a reset, they don't refresh their combo. Like, they just keep tunneling on their daggers. So in here, jumping onto a dagger will do absolutely nothing because there's no one there. So what you wanted to do here is you want to eat WQ onto Lee Sin, completely ignore this dagger. You want, once you get the reset, you have all your skills up, you know? So if there's actually a use for that dagger, yeah, you could jump in, but there wasn't. So you had to just forget that that dagger was there, knowing that you placed it. But the combo you did here, you eat W, which there was no one here. So you wanted to eat WQ onto Lee Sin. You get pushed here, that's fine. Now let's see how this side plays out. You could eat WQ onto this minion right here. Continue the fight. W. Nice. Kill him. Ooh. Weird combo. You accidentally W'd first. But yeah, that's just a mechanical error. Just make sure that doesn't happen. WQ. Nice. Jump to the Q dagger. Okay, you can just shove this in. Let's see. 2 of them are dead. Yeah, you guys probably shouldn't get that. If anything, you guys could have rotated down. But it might be too late now. So at this point, you guys should be making sure that Baron doesn't get taken from them. Dragon's probably not up for a while. Oh god. EW? Nice. Good job. Yeah, at that point, it's good to throw out everything because you want to force Lee Sin's kick. Especially if he's caught out. So Lee Sin's down, so you guys can actually try to do Baron here. Yeah, no, you guys definitely should have Baron. I mean, Sin's is, I guess, trying to distract, but he's just wasting a lot of time. Now he's dead for it. Sin's okay. Sin is okay. Interesting. Okay, now you guys decide to do Baron. They should be able to take this no problem. Yeah, they chased too far for the cinch. I guess that worked out. Okay, so you can get Death Cap here. Oh, you get Ludens instead. Interesting. I think you were actually like 100 gold off from Death Cap, so I can see why you bought Ludens instead. Remember, Ludens isn't a late game item, it's an early game item. So Death Cap, if you just like kept track of your gold and maybe got like 100 CS off of like Jungle Camp or something, it would have been more efficient. Okay, free kill. And free kills. Just kidding. So that's one, definitely Banshees would have helped there. You might have been able to kill him with Death Cap. Yeah, movement speed early on doesn't really help, in my opinion. Movement speed helps a lot better early. If they're caught out, you're gonna catch up to them regardless. But in terms of damage, you don't want Ludens. You don't want to build a movement speed item later on, if that makes sense. Death Cap is just a... There's just a giant difference between Ludens and Death Cap late game because you have so much AP. See, with Ludens you have 450. Imagine getting Death Cap and having 30% of your AP. Is it 30%? 35? Oh, anyone have Death Cap? No, I can't even see the shop. There's a giant difference in power. Okay, so it looks like you're getting some MR now. That's good. That's so much CS for you. Probably should look to shove in the next one as well. Okay, so this might be the last fight. So you're hovering, Being in this position is actually not that bad. That pincers them. Rock flashes. Okay, you throw your Q. Lead this back out. Hello. Alright, give me like 5 minutes? Alright. Well, I can end the stream after this, but hold on, let's go back. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so Renekton tries to chase you. You run back. Okay, Zanya. So you Q, and then you E ulti. Okay, nice. And then you back up. Okay, and then you guys probably just push for the win here, probably. Kill Karma. Yep, and it's good game. Okay, let's recap here. So let's see. Overall, it was a pretty good game. I think there's a few things you do definitely have to work on. Laning phase actually went okay. I think you should take more advantage of the fact that like when people walk up towards you close to your tower when you're trying to farm it, that's opportunity for you to try to go in. That's a free engage because they feel like all the pressure is gone because you're trying to CS, but you can potentially like eat W to try to clear the minions and at the same time like go onto them. So that there's that. Second of all, your combos do need a little work. You just have to be more patient when you throw your Q, that's all. It's mainly your Q that's been off. So just be very patient with your Q. You don't have to kill them like instantly. You want to set up perfectly so you can get all your damage off. That's the most important part. Getting all your damage off, not killing them as fast as you can. Unless it gets to that point where like, oh shit, like their whole team is there, I have to go and kill them really fast and jump out. That's different scenario. If you're in a scenario like early game where there's not a lot of like people just like huddled up or whatever, then you gotta just make sure you hit all your abilities. That's the biggest thing when comboing with Cat. I think Zanya's wasn't a good buy here. I know it helped you live with that Renekton, but honestly you shouldn't have eat onto the Renekton. So there was that. Yeah, there was also that thing with the abilities where you're farming a lot with Q. That's like something you should remember, that you should auto to farm and trade with Q. So keep that in mind. I know as a melee champion it's kind of hard, so there are times where you're gonna be throwing Q, but a lot of times like you'd be surprised at how you can set up on someone when, you know, you go up for a CS and then they try to harass you. You could try to go in then. But the moment you throw an ability out, they just know that it's gone. It's like when Syndra like blows her stun. It's the same thing. But with Cat, there's a lot more pressure because you have less cooldown on your abilities, except for W. But just know that like when one of those abilities are down, it's going to be a lot harder for you to go in. So it takes a lot of pressure off of the enemy laner. I think the rotation was fine. Your team played relatively well. I think when it came to like, you know, objective play, you guys did play that out pretty well. There was that one time you should have probably taken that mid tower. You probably shouldn't have been so scared to take it. Yeah, it's fine if you didn't know the matchup and you just farm. That's completely fine. I'm just trying to let you know that there are little patterns that any champion can do where you can go in like that Karma. The thing is, like with Karma, there's no real like CC, there's no real escape, so you can try to like pressure as much as you can, especially when your cooldowns are down. Just know that the W is going to be the one that's going to like fuck up your combo the most, because she's going to get a guaranteed Q off as well. So just know that like the one thing you should know is that, or that you did learn from your game, is that when someone walks up close to your tower like that, especially like Karma, who doesn't have much CC or escape, you can definitely just go in and one-shot him, which is what you just did. What else? Your item build was... I think Zanya's wasn't a good buy. I think after that you maybe should have gotten Haunting Guys or something and just try to play around not having Zanya's. I think that's something pretty big. And later on, like, I don't know what this was going to build into, but probably Banshees would have been the last item. And Luden's Echo is not a good item late game. It doesn't give you enough. So definitely Death Cap. Prioritize Death Cap over Luden's later into the game, because you get so much more damage with that percentage AP you get. Luden's is only good early, and the reason why Luden's is better early compared to Death Cap is because Death Cap doesn't have... Well, first of all, Death Cap is expensive, Luden's is cheaper. Luden's gives you movement speed, which allows you to roam, and there's not a lot of roaming happening late game. And Death Cap doesn't have a lot of AP to scale off of. That's why Death Cap's a better late game item than Luden's. So keep that in mind. And overall, you should... There was that fight at bottom where you probably should have been able to pop off a little more. Just know that when you get the reset that you're able to play around it. Just know that you can jump to minions to gap close. And you probably shouldn't have been so scared, especially when someone's low. Because if you get that one person... If you see one person that's low and you think you can potentially kill him, then you gotta go for it. Because you could potentially pick up more as well. So... yeah, overall, that was a pretty good game. You had 19 kills, so obviously you applied the pressure in order to win the team fights and stuff like that. So yeah, good game.